Story name: The Mirror in the Hallway. It was past midnight when Ria woke up for a glass of water. The house was silent, except for the sound of rain tapping on the windows. As she walked through the hallway, she noticed the old mirror her grandmother once owned. It shimmered faintly, though the lights were off. Curious, Ria stepped closer. Her reflection smiled, but she didn't. Startled, she blinked, and the reflection was normal again. "Just my imagination," she whispered, turning away. But then, a faint whisper echoed from the mirror. "Don't leave me." Heart pounding, Ria turned back. Her reflection now pressed its hands against the glass, eyes wide and dark. Slowly, a shadow began to crawl out, cold air filling the hallway. Ria screamed and dropped her glass, shattering it into 100 pieces. When her parents came running, the hallway was empty. The mirror was cracked and Ria was gone. Now, sometimes at night, her reflection still appears smiling when no one else is there. Moral of the story: some things are better left unseen, especially your reflection after midnight. Story name: The Girl on the Bus. It was a cold, rainy night when Arjun caught the last bus home. The streets were empty, and the bus was almost dark, except for one flickering light. Only a few passengers sat quietly. Then, at the next stop, a young girl in a white dress stepped in, dripping wet. She sat right behind Arjun. He turned to smile, but she just stared out the window. Her long hair covered most of her face. The bus drove on through the storm, and one by one, the other passengers got off until only Arjun and the girl remained. Suddenly, the driver shouted, "Sir, please don't look back or talk to her." Arjun froze. "Why?" he whispered. The driver's voice shook. "Because that girl died on this bus 10 years ago tonight." Arjun slowly turned around, but the seat behind him was empty, just a small puddle of water and a single red ribbon left behind. When the bus reached his stop, the driver said softly, "She rides every year waiting for someone to notice." Moral of the story: not every passenger you meet is alive sometimes. The past still takes the bus. Story name: The Girl in the River. One foggy evening, Arav walked home along the riverside path. The air was cold, and the sound of water splashing echoed through the mist. As he passed the bridge, he saw a girl sitting by the riverbank, her white dress soaked, her hair long and dripping. "Are you okay?" Arav asked. The girl turned slowly, her face pale but beautiful. "I dropped my bracelet," she whispered. "Can you help me find it?" Feeling sorry for her, Arav knelt beside the water. Suddenly, a cold hand grabbed his wrist and pulled. He gasped as icy water rose around him. The girl's soft voice turned into a chilling laugh. "Stay with me, it's lonely down here." Terrified, Arav struggled free and ran without looking back. The next morning, the police found wet footprints leading from the river to the bridge, but no sign of any girl. Locals later told him the story of a woman who had drowned there years ago, still searching for her lost bracelet. Now, on misty nights, people say she waits for someone kind enough to stop and never come back. Moral of the story: not every cry for help is human. Some belong to the past that refuses to rest. Story name: The Beautiful Girl. It was past midnight when Raj was driving home from a friend's party. The road was dark and foggy when he saw a girl standing alone by the roadside. She wore a long white dress, her hair shining in the moonlight. She looked lost but very beautiful. Raj stopped the car. "Do you need help?" he asked. The girl smiled softly and said, "Please, drop me home." Her voice was sweet but strangely cold. He opened the door, and she sat quietly in the back seat. Short YouTube title, description, and hashtags for this story. As they drove, Raj tried to make small talk, but she didn't reply. When he looked in the mirror, she wasn't there. Panicked, he stopped the car only to find her sitting right beside him in the front seat, staring with pale eyes. "You brought me home," she whispered, "but this is where I died." Before he could scream, she vanished, leaving only a white ribbon on the seat and the smell of roses in the air. The next morning, the police told Raj the truth. A girl had died on that very road years ago, wearing a white dress. Moral of the story: beauty can hide darkness. Not every pretty face belongs to the living. Story name: Humans Can Lick Too. One rainy night, a young girl named Lily stayed home alone while her parents were out. Thunder roared outside as she lay in bed with her dog, Max, sleeping on the floor beside her. Every time she heard a strange noise, she reached down, and Max licked her hand, a comforting sign that she wasn't alone. Hours passed. The wind howled, and something scratched against the window. Lily whispered, "Don't worry, Max," and felt another warm lick on her fingers. She smiled and drifted to sleep. "I want like this." In the morning, sunlight filled her room. Stretching, Lily looked down, but Max wasn't there. She called for him, but silence answered. As she walked into the bathroom, she froze. Written on the wall in shaky red letters were the words, "Humans can lick too." Behind the shower curtain lay her poor dog gone. Lily screamed and ran outside, but no one ever discovered who or what had been under her bed that night. Even now, people say if you feel a warm lick in the dark, make sure you check who it really is. Moral of the story: sometimes comfort can come from the wrong place. Always trust your instincts. Story name: The Shadow. Every night, Lily woke up at 3 a.m. She didn't know why until one night, she saw something move in the corner of her room. A tall, dark shadow stood near her closet. It didn't have a face, but she could feel it staring at her. She froze, unable to scream. The shadow slowly raised its hand and pointed at her. Then, it disappeared into the wall. Terrified, Lily ran to her parents' room, but they saw nothing when they checked. The next night, it returned closer this time. She could hear it whisper her name. "Lily!" it hissed. The room turned ice cold. Her lights flickered, and she felt a hand on her shoulder. When she turned, no one was there, just darkness. Desperate, her parents called a priest. As he prayed, the candles blew out and the walls shook. The priest shouted, "It feeds on fear." Lily closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and whispered, "You don't scare me." Silence. The shadow melted into the floor and was gone. But sometimes, late at night, Lily still sees her reflection blink even when she doesn't. Moral of the story: fear gives darkness its power. Face it or be consumed by it. Story name: The Ghost Man. It was past midnight when Aaron walked home alone after his night shift. The streets were empty. Fog covered the road, and every step echoed behind him. Suddenly, he heard another pair of footsteps, slow, heavy, following him. When he turned around, no one was there. He walked faster. The sound followed. "Who's there?" he shouted. No answer, only a whisper in the wind. "Don't look back." Aaron's heart raced. He ran until he reached the old bridge at the end of town. There, he saw a tall man standing in the mist, pale face, dark eyes, and no feet touching the ground. The man smiled slowly and said, "You took my path." Aaron stumbled back, terrified. The ghost man floated closer and whispered, "Now it's your turn to walk with me." The next morning, people found Aaron's bag and phone near the bridge, but Aaron was gone. Some nights, passers-by still see two shadows walking together through the fog, one living, one not. Moral of the story: never walk alone at night, for some roads belong to the dead.